Hey guys, Sammy here with Translate Fishing, and today we're going to be showing you how to catch bluegill really fast, and lots of them. This is going to be a video for you guys who are just getting into fishing. You don't want to be sitting there on the bank bored. That's what I try to aim most of our videos toward. People that are just starting out, getting you going, getting you out there catching fish so that you don't give up on it and stop, because you don't have to just sit there holding a pole. You can actually catch fish when you go fishing. That's why I go, is to catch fish. And that's what we want to teach you guys. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. But let me tell you a little story real quick. Bit of information for you, if for you guys who've been fishing a while, about warm water discharges, because that was our big plan. I posted a post on Instagram that the next day we were heading out to the warm water discharge at Gallatin Steam Plant, and we were so excited about it and everything. And we did a little bit of homework on it, but not enough. So let me advise you, if you have a fishing trip planned or you're planning on going somewhere, do a lot of homework, because you don't want to be let down once you get there. So we get up there, we find the place, and we go into Flippers Bait and Tackle Shop, which is awesome, by the way, up in Gallatin. If you're ever out that way, stop and check it out. They have everything. Flippers Bait and Tackle Shop. Not a sponsor. Anyway, went in there, talked to him, got the directions. And once he was telling me the directions, I realized, oh man, this guy's telling me how to get there in a boat. And I told him, I said, we didn't bring our boat. We thought we could access it by the bank. And he said, no, you can't get to it by the bank. Not this year. You could last year. They had some kind of a causeway through there, some kind of like a little peninsula that had got dug up and is no longer there now. So the only way to get there is by boat. For all you guys that were thinking about going out there, bring your boat. We have a boat, but we didn't bring it for that reason. We thought we could just get out there to the bank, but could not. So big letdown. He told us where there was a place not far away from it that we could fish, which we went and tried. But here's what the problem was. The problem is that anywhere there's a warm water discharge and there's a sudden drop in temperature like there was the day before, it was in the high 50s, and that night it got down to 27 degrees, and then the ground was covered in snow the next morning. So what that does is all the fish that are in that area, or most of them, tend to go and hang out in or around that warm water discharge, which makes fishing downstream tough. Some of the local fishermen we talked to there said, guys, you really ain't going to catch much fishing here. We've been fishing this forever, and you'll catch fishing here in the late spring, but not right now. So we're planning on making a trip back. So for that purpose, we went to familiar territory. We decided to make a bluegill video for you guys to help you get started catching fish. After you watch this video and you learn how to do that, go check out our skipjack video. That'll help you catch fish even faster and bigger. But here we go. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, throw it in the bucket. Probably gonna die.
Yeah, usually I can catch about 5 or 6 on the same worm before they finally get it chewed up so bad it don't want to do nothing. Something keeps nipping at this pole. Ooh, something just came up after that. You see that? A little silver flash. Bluegill chased it to the surface. He's after it again now. If it just bite it, it keeps bumping it. Ooh, ah! Ah, he came off. You see him?
Yep.
I don't think that was a bluegill. I'm not sure what that was. Hey man, don't be acting like me. Get on out of my spot. Get on out of my spot. Don't be trying to act like me. That's my move. I'm the vulture. That's what he called me down there at, where was we, Drake Street? David's got a big one. Big old stump. Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna start calling you the vulture. I'm like, why? And he said, call as soon as I get a bite, you come running over here. See, I just think that's smart.
I looked around, he had a pole over here and a pole over here. I'm like,
hey, I get bored, man. I try to maximize my opportunity as much as I can. That's the little guy that's been aggravating me to death for the past 5 minutes. Finally got him. These guys are purple today. I don't understand why. Maybe it has something to do with the weather right now, but look at that. See all that purple right in there? They don't usually look like that. They're
wonder why that is. They're pretty. But, okay. So basically what happened was we went and tried the steam plant out. Unfortunately, didn't do enough homework, so I advise you do homework. Knew where it was at and everything, knew where the bait and tackle shop was, but did not know that you could not access the actual hot water discharge without a boat. We have a boat, but we didn't know that, so we didn't bring our boat. We figured that we could get there, or get close enough anyway, by the bank, but we couldn't. So we tried a few little spots out through there. Nothing much was going on. Fish weren't really biting. We talked to a few of the locals who said the fish usually during this time of year don't bite very well, but during the spring and summer they smallmouth are in there like crazy. So we plan on making a trip back. But it seems that when there's a major temperature drop, like yesterday it was in the high 50s, and then last night it got down to 27 degrees. This morning it was snowing. The fish, anywhere there's a hot water discharge, most of the fish tend to head out that way and kind of hang out in or around that, and so that leaves the spots further down. David just caught another one, another bluegill. That kind of leaves the spots further down sparse, hard to catch fish. So we decided to leave there and come down to familiar territory down here at the dam in Cheatham County, and wanted to show you guys how to catch bluegill, bunches of them. These guys aren't going to be very big, but this is mainly for you guys, you know, you have kids that you want to take fishing. Just like the skipjack video, this is pretty fast action. I mean, it's not quite as fast right now just because of the weather, but they are here. And if you want to rig up just a little rig with a little split shot sinker, a little bitty hook with a worm or a little tiny minnow, and just go to a spot like this where there's a sudden drop off and the water's about 4 or 5 feet, just hang it right off the dock. Don't try to cast it way out there. These guys are usually hanging around, and you can catch quite a few of them, and it's fun, you know, if you're like me and you get bored just sitting there waiting, or if you're just throwing and reeling in and nothing seems to be taken, you can at least be catching some fish, and your kids will like it. They won't be sitting there bored either. They'll be able to catch plenty of these. You might want to take them off the hook for them because of these barbs that stick up, or you can teach them how to come down on them. If you want to hold the fish like this, if you want your kids to be able to do it, they need to come down over top of them and kind of mash those barbs down so that they don't get stuck. Anyway, we've got a few here. We've got 3 in the bucket. I got one right here, that's 4. For you guys out there that like to fish for catfish or want to start fishing for big catfish, particularly flatheads, this is what they like to eat. This guy right here, and these are about the perfect size for it. So we're going to catch a bunch of these, throw them in a bucket, and we're going to cast out here shortly and see if we can get a big old catfish to bite. But right now we're just going to catch a whole bunch of these and see what we can get done later. Stay tuned. Oh, there, wow. That one ain't small. It ain't huge, but it ain't small. All right, come down on him like that. That's how you want to get him. This guy nearly swallowed it. Got it. That's not a bad sized bluegill right there. Not bad at all. He's a little too big to use for bait. Well, unless you're out on a boat and you can get to some of the deeper holes and whatnot, or you know where some big flatheads hang out. I mean, this wouldn't be nothing for a big flathead to swallow, but depending on what kind of rig you got, you know, you really don't want to rig up something like this on just using like 20 or 30 pound line and try to really launch it out there. For one, you may snap your line, and for two, you might luck up on a fish that's big enough to swallow this guy, or a smaller fish might try to get him and take off and rip most of him off the hook, and then you'll miss a fish. The ones we got in the bucket are about the right size, but he can be cut up and used for bait. We've got 5 in there now, and just threw out my big pole over there with a big chunk of skipjack on it. DJ's got his poles out over there with some skipjack on them. We're gonna catch a few more bluegill here, and I might rig one of those up and throw some live bait out there, but we'll just see what happens, guys. Stay with us. Oh, so that's number 6. We've been down here, how long have we been down here? 30 minutes?
If that, yeah.
If that? Okay, 20, 30 minutes.
6 bluegills so far. If like I was saying about bait fish, catfish like shad. The only problem with shad is that you really can't catch them on a hook. I've caught them before, but I foul hooked them while I was reeling in. I snagged one in the back. But most guys use a casting net. They'll throw out there and drag in a bunch of shad and put them on the hook and use them for bait. But you can't always find them. I mean, you have to go to a spot where you know they're going to be, pretty much, that you're familiar with, that you know that they've been before, and hope that when you throw your net out, you're going to drag some in. With these guys, they're very territorial. They tend to hang out in spots like where we're at now, like a boat dock, a boat ramp, steep drop-offs in the rocks where there's plenty of holes for them to get into. I'll show you a few more spots. There's another spot down there I'll take and show you, and a culvert over here, just so you got an idea in your mind. If you're out looking for bait fish and you want to have fun while you're doing it, instead of just throwing out a net, you want to actually catch them on rod and reel. Did you catch a big fish, or what did you get?
A rock.
A big rock. All right. If you want to have fun catching them on a rod and reel, go to a spot like this and just catch them. These are great bait for flatheads. Blues will bite them. It's rare, but they will. But flatheads love these things, and they're fun to catch. Look how pretty he is. I haven't seen this purple color that they got going on in the belly and right here. Now David says that up at Pond Creek a couple of weeks ago they were this color. I wonder if that's got something to do with the temperature, because this is the first time I've seen this. Anyway, we're gonna catch some more, and hopefully we'll hook into a big one. We'll keep you posted. Tried to attack me. Little guy, that is perfect size for bait right there. This little guy. Every one of these have that purple in them. Every one of them. All right, get untangled. Give me my thumb. He's just barely hooked in the mouth. Remember to come down. Tell your kids, show your kids how, if you're gonna let them catch them, to come down on those barbs, because they will stick you and they don't feel good. But they're perfect size for bait. That is perfect. I might actually put him on the hook and throw him out here shortly. If nothing takes my skipjack here in about the next half an hour to an hour, might just throw this little guy out there. That's number 7 or 8. We're gonna catch maybe 2 or 3 more of these guys. But besides catching them for bait, I mean, this is just fun if you want to take your son or your daughter or your kids and just sit down together on a bank and fish, and you don't want to just be sitting there all day casting way out hoping that some big fish comes along and hits your bait. And you know, you get wore out casting and reeling. You're not in a boat, you're stuck on the bank, and so you can't go to the spots where you know, like the bass are hanging out at. So familiarize yourself with places like this and places I'm going to show you here shortly where you know these bluegill hang out. If you want to take your kids fishing and just sit down there with them and know you're going to catch fish, I won't say year-round. During January and February, these fish are kind of hard to find close to the bank, but the rest of the time, if you go to the right spot, you usually will find them. You usually will find a lot of them, and you know, you're gonna catch fish. Your kids are gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun because they're having fun. Anyway, we're gonna keep at it. You're the oddball. And you're the big one. Okay guys, so now you know how to catch small to medium-sized bluegill and where to find them. So get out there, grab your rod and reel, grab your kids, hit the bank, and actually catch some fish. Thank you for watching, guys. If you want more tips and tricks on how to catch fish fast and not be sitting there bored, please subscribe to our channel. You have a blessed day.